I think here you understood the point. Let's imagine the scenario in the first 5 years of the forfait regime. Because maybe in 5 years your business grew, you had to change the structure, or you left Italy. For the first 5 years, this is the best situation you can have. Let me put back here to 3.9% tax pressure, and here 2.9% tax pressure. Now, what kind of tax optimization we can do? First, tax optimization on the forfait regime. A lot of people are not aware of that the forfait regime automatically gives you a tax optimization the second year of activity. Why? Because in the first year of activity, you have this forfait deduction given by the state. Then, in the first year, you calculate the Social Security still on this 66,300 or 34,000, okay? But from the second year onwards, you have to deduct the Social Security on this. So you're going to also have a lower percentage on the tax pressure. So you first deduct your forfait cost, then you deduct your Social Security, and then you calculate your taxes from the second year onwards. So in the first 5 years of the forfait regime, the following 4 years, you're going to have a tax pressure not of 3.9 or 2.9, but is going to be 2.8% tax pressure, and the second, it's 1.47 tax pressure. Basically, what kind of calculation I did? It's simple. Instead of calculating the taxes on 66,000, I calculate the taxes on 66,000 less 20,000 euro. 20% here of Social Security. What remains, I calculate the 5%, and then we get 2.8%. And it's the same, I did this is for here, exactly the same procedure, and we have 1.47% tax pressure. That's the first optimization. It's automatically done by the state. Another automatical optimization, actually, which is written in the law in the forfait regime that you maybe are not aware of, is that when you pay a 5% flat tax, it doesn't accumulate with the rest of the worldwide income. That's quite important. So you can have another income that doesn't accumulate with this 85,000 euro. 85,000 euro will be taxed under this regime. All the rest of the income taxed with the ordinary tax progressive tax rate, okay? In the forfait regime, you don't add the VAT, which means that if you have Italian clients, private clients, or also business clients, you don't add the 22% VAT. Italian VAT. This is also very important. Of course, if you're working with foreign client, for you it doesn't change anything, but in case it happens to work for some Italian clients, you are more competitive on the market. You don't have to add the 22% VAT at the top of your invoices. Another optimization here that we can do is that if it happens to be registered in the INPS Commercianti Artigiani, what can be done? We can ask to the INPS institution a discount of 35% of your INPS that you have to pay. So basically, when you fall in this category, this 19% and 9.8% will be still reduced by other 35% just because you are in the forfait regime. This is given for granted. This is given by the law. So it is an optional situation, because if you pay less contribution, when you get old, you will have a lower pension, or you need more years of paying social contribution with a lower rate to reach the minimum amount of years to receive the Italian pension. But if you don't care about the Italian pensions, because you don't believe in pension or in the welfare state in the future, you don't care. Just try to reduce your INPS as much as possible. There is a specific demand. We can do a request to the INPS institution to reduce your Social Security by 35%. And how much will be? I'm going to give you the exact number. So here you're going to pay, instead of 19%, is going to be actually 6.5% here and 16% here. So with that 35% discount. Of course, this discount works if your Ateco code allows you to stay in the INPS Commercianti Artigiani. You can ask this 35%. And there is another tax optimization. Of course, this 30% discount is not possible if you get into gestione separata, okay? This is just to want to let you know. Then, last optimization that we can do in the forfait regime. If you're a full-time employee in Italy, because you moved to Italy, you got a job in full-time, and your income, gross income as an employee, doesn't pass 30,000 euro per year, you can open a forfait regime, and if your Ateco code puts you in the Commercianti Artigiani section, INPS, you might ask to pay 0 social security contribution, which means that your effective tax rate with the forfait regime will be always 3.9 or 2.9%, between those two, always, because there is nothing to pay in social security. Why? Because you are already paying the social security in the full-time payroll employee. Why? Because it's written by law. Don't ask me why. This is the way the government decided to help people to open the forfait regime. Unfortunately, if the Gateco code describes you to stay in gestione separata and you are a full-time employee, the only thing that we can do, we can reduce the tax rate of gestione separata from the famous 26% down to 4%. So basically, instead of having this tax rate, you're gonna have 19 and 9.8%. Okay? I repeat this concept. If you're a full-time employee, you have 0% INPS in gestione commercianti artigiani and 24 instead of 26 INPS, 24% INPS in gestione separata. Okay? So you reduce by 2%, 2.20% points of percentages your social security in gestione separata. Okay? So the full-time employee gives you a discount on this and 0 social security to pay on that type of INPS. So it's very important to understand where is your type of activity, how you can describe well your activity in order to stay in the correct INPS and spare a lot in social security, because the forfait regime already have few taxes to pay. Okay? It's almost nothing. Now, I challenge you to find another European jurisdictions with the same benefits in terms of taxes and social security up to 85,000 euro per year. Please, if you're interested in this kind of content, if you want to interact with us, I will invite you to write down in a comment your jurisdiction of your region, which are the tax rates if you're a freelancer or self-employed up to 85,000 euro, and see and compare, thinking about comparing it with Italy, and see if this tax regime is better or not better compared to your country of origin. Please write down in the description below to let us know if you have what is your tax rate for and the social security rate combined in your jurisdiction. And I think I said all. I try to, it's not, as you see, there are several scenarios for the INPS. And that's the reason why you will need a tax consultancy. It's highly recommended to have a tax consultancy with us, because we can actually guide you through and try to see which is the best type activity code to exploit the forfait regime as much as possible in terms of taxation and in terms of social security. I hope I was clear. There is just one point that I want to mention in this video that I promised you at the beginning of this video. So what happens if I pass 85,000 euro per year? I'm gonna lose all these tax benefits and all the social security benefits? Well, yes, unless you are not precautious, if you provide certain kind of tax strategies in advance, which are, if your income, if your ATECO code is different, so if your business might be described by multiple ATECO codes, that multiple codes, because you might also are a consultant and you might do something else different from a consultancy service. So if you have different categories, you might have an SRL, open an SRL in parallel, which doesn't make any profit, so you don't pay any taxes at any level. And then what happens is that you pay yourself a payroll as administrator with the forfait reimburse expenses regime, in which I have discussed in a previous video, and that's the reason why you have to subscribe to ESENtaxa, because then you make a connection between all those tax regimes, where you pay 19% taxes and social security combined for the first 40,000 euro per year as a payroll, as administrator payroll. And then you have 19% on 40K and 85% that we said before, we checked before, that our tax pressure is between 3.9% and 2.9%. Moreover, if you pay yourself a salary in one of the SRL as a full-time employee, here this is a nice trick. If you pay yourself a full-time employee less than 30,000 euro, you don't pay social security here if you run in parallel a forfait regime with a different ATECO code. I hope I was clear. If something is not clear, you can write us an email, you can ask for a consultation, we can provide you email consultation, not just video call consultations. For video call consultation, you have our Calendly link in the description below the video, or you can simply write us an email and we can check which is your situation, which is your possibility to exploit these or multiple tax regimes in Italy in 2024. Thank you for watching this video, and see you to the next content. Bye.